I'm joined here by several members of my team. Felicia Morales will be facilitating this session for me. And then also we're joined by Shelby Alavecchios. So the three of us make up the Arizona Coalition's employer engagement team. So we engage employers on behalf of the coalition to become Arizona Veteran Supportive Employers, and then we maintain those partnerships throughout the year, as you've already heard over and over again. Slide. In case anyone's still unsure of who we are or what we're all doing here, we are the Arizona Coalition for Military Families. We are a public-private partnership. Again, as you've heard in the general sessions, we have the donors, the backing, the partners, but really it all comes together. For our team specifically, we want to deliver the right resource at the right time. And for us, that right resource, though employment is the focus, it is not the only resource, and oftentimes not even the primary resource that we deliver. We deliver a sense of empowerment and encouragement back into the lives of those who are military connected, and we make sure that they have those right tools to go out there and take onus, to take responsibility, and take lead in their career search. Again, our implementation partners, they speak for themselves. We're so excited to work with all of them. And really see this in the last year, as Thomas said, when we came in here, we're able to really build out the program and switch from a conceptualized model to actual programmatic delivery that can be empirically validated. And that's where we're at today. So the Career Navigation Program and becoming an Arizona Veteran Supportive Employer, it's a part of the Arizona Roadmap to Veteran Employment, which again includes Arizona Department of Veteran Services, the Arizona Corporate Council for Veteran Careers, the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, and so many others coming together so that this career navigation team can exist as a bridge between what the market wants and needs and mitigate their expectations of what a veteran is, and then also serve and work with in the upstream approach with our military connected population. Ultimately, we do have an aim or a goal of helping as many as possible gain meaningful employment opportunities, developing them professionally, and giving them training resources, training opportunities and resources. So the big part of developing them professionally is we don't have a metrics driven by a placement necessarily. That isn't a metrics that we're measuring. We're definitely measuring that and the quality and the type of placements that we're working with. But ultimately, our success is when we're working with a candidate who finds that meaningful employment and then circles back to us 6 months later, 9 months later, a year later, and this is already starting to happen, and they say, hey, I'm ready for my next career move. I don't particularly like the shifts I'm on or the culture of the organization, and we're able to work with that individual and say, hold what you got, keep that employment, let's start getting out there, working on your personal brand, your LinkedIn, and your networking. Next. So again, we on the employer side, we want to connect, support, and do relationship building. I said in the beginning, there's 3 components that I took from the military. The first component was the equipment and empowerment that the military gave me personally. The second part was to leave no one behind, learning that through some Ranger training, stuff like that no one gets left behind. And the last thing is when I became a U.S. Army Green Beret, I really learned how to become a force multiplier, to remove my own personal or implicit bias against a person or an organization, and really know how to collaborate and work with anyone who's willing to step up to the plate and say they want to be a part of this ecosystem. So we connect prepared military career-seeking candidates to our employers. You're never going to hear us tell you that it's your responsibility as an employer to understand an NCOER, an officer annual evaluation, to understand what someone did in a combat threat environment, to read a DD-214. What I tell our career seekers, what my team tells our career seekers, is the same way that you acclimated to military lifestyle and culture and you oriented yourselves to the battlefield. If you wanted to put in those kinds of terms, you need to look at your new workforce search in those same manners. You need to orient yourself to the workforce the culture, the shifts, the paradigm shifts that are happening, and you need to really treat that market search, do your research and treat that market like it's your new battlefield, it's your new space to own, and to really dig in and find that truly meaningful opportunity. And we're here for you on the employer side to support you with recruitment, with hiring, and with retention of candidates. So one of the big things I always tell our employers is we're not a staffing agency, and we definitely don't work for you. We value your partnership. I look at you as an investor into our ecosystem. And as an investor, I want to increase the value added proposition that I have for you. And I want to make sure that there is a return on investment, that the ROI is equitable to both you and to us. Exactly. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. It's very important for us to understand the difference between our core stakeholders, our investors, the employers, and then our clients. Our clients, our primary focus and our client will always be the career seeker. Their needs and wants and desires will always be put above all else. Now, with that being said, we also work diligently to mitigate the expectations and make sure that our Sergeant E5s know that they're probably not yet ready to be a program manager or project manager. I understand you may have served in Ranger Battalion and led 2 or 3 individuals, but that doesn't necessarily prepare you to manage budgets and large scale projects. So let us work with those individuals to upskill them and prepare them. We work with, in the upstream approach, those in uniform, veterans, military spouses, adult children, and military connected students. So those in uniform, our first mission, as you've kind of heard it before, is capturing them 1 year, 2 years out from separation and saying, hey, don't go down the path of the road that Randy Salazar went down or that Felicia Morales went down. When I first separated from the military, I would say rightfully so, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I had a top secret security clearance. I had served over 11 years on active duty and in communications and intelligence roles. I had a degree. I went and got one professional resume written for me, paid a whopping $400 for that resume, and I sent it out. I sent that one resume out to some 200 employers across the DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia area, and not one human being ever contacted me. So I am personally invested and extremely passionate to see no one make those same mistakes. That you don't need necessarily a professional resume writer. You need to learn how to become your own professional resume writer, and we help them. We equip them with those tools to do that, and then we guide them along the path. So we work first with those in the uniform. So that is our active duty service members transitioning out. Those are our Guard, our reservists here in Arizona. And I keep highlighting my team because they're awesome, they're amazing, and really we have to give credit where credit is due. Thanks to Felicia's 21 years of military service, finishing her tenure in the Arizona National Guard, we've been able to strengthen our relationship with the Arizona National Guard. So when we say those in uniform, we now have official lines of communication with the new recruits coming in. So after they go through basic training AIT, we get an opportunity to share what the market has for them here in Arizona. In addition to them, we also have the Arizona National Guard recruiters going out all across the nation to active duty bases, reaching out and trying to pull talent back here in Arizona. And guess what? They're connecting those candidates to our network here so that our career guidance professionals can work with them. Obviously, we work with veterans. We work with veterans of all eras, but our focus is the market. Our focus is looking for meaningful connections to career opportunities. So when we work with veterans and we see that they have 2, 3, 4 layers of barriers to employment, we make sure to do our job and we connect them to 2 of our core partners. One, to the Be Connected support line so that we can help reduce those barriers. And then also to Arizona at Work, to Pat Kirkendall's team and the DVOP program. We make sure that they get that intensive case management, because we do not follow an intensive case management model here. We follow the next person up. So whether it's Matt or Shelby or Demetrius, whoever's next in the chute works with our career seekers, and we have accurate and detailed notes, and we're able to jump in there and work with them all. We also work with our military spouses. And again, highlighting Shelby on my team. Shelby's leading the way this year as we start have discussions around and launching a military spouse initiative. So that spouse initiative, really to summate it, is we want our spouses, we want those men and women serving our families while our activity spouses are out there doing the mission. We want them to find meaningful employment. So we're trying to tie this in with August, September, with the back to school, in person. We want to give our spouses a little bit of time to breathe, but then we want to quickly jump in there and say, hey, the kids, if you have them, are back in school. Let's start thinking about you. Let's start thinking, even if it's just a LinkedIn, even if it's a professional cert and it's not employment today, let's get them in the right places and connected to the right resources. And then we also work with our military connected students. We're extremely excited that this year we took on a new partnership with the one and only, the premier university in the state of Arizona, also known as the University of Arizona. Bear down. I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding. So, hey, that's going to bring us up to our first poll question. But real quick, I want to touch on that. We do have that official partnership with the University of Arizona. So there's some 4,000 students that are military connected, whether they're a veteran, a spouse. You're good, Felicia, so you can stay on the poll. Whether you're a veteran, you're a spouse, you're a child utilizing VA benefits, or you just want to be a part of that network because your grandparents served in a prior era. We are working with all of those students to bring them into this ecosystem and help them in their career development. Okay, so that brings us to our first poll question. What barriers have you experienced or think there would be in recruiting and retaining military-connected individuals? I'll wait here till we have 100% voting in. I'll make it awkward. I'm just kidding.
We're looking at a pretty even split through most of everything here.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Pulling ahead. Do not understand military jargon on resumes is pulling ahead.
I like it.
We're only at like 67%.
Come on, everyone.
Come on, everybody. And Randy will hold to it. If you already don't know him, we'll be here all day. 71%.
Turn off your YouTube. Thank you, Tanya. You are the best person here. Bear down. 41 to
77%.
Come back from the kitchen. I know you're washing dishes. Get over it. Complete the poll. All right, accountability.
Thank you. Amanda will definitely address that. So we're at 77%, and 39% of you said that you don't understand military jargon on resumes. 24% said the compensation is low, poor interviewing skills.
So let me talk to you about a couple of these real quick before we move on. First, again, we work diligently to remove military jargon. We do not believe it is the responsibility of the private sector to understand military jargon. It is the responsibility of us to translate that military jargon, and our career guidance professionals work diligently with our career seekers to make sure that happens. Another issue or thing that arises are poor interviewing skills, and you're absolutely correct. Military people are used to going to promotion boards where you ask very direct, you're very serious and regimented, and we work hard with them to improve their interviewing skills, especially in this Zoom world. How to have clean, neutral backgrounds, not to be cluttered, to be in a good space, to be able to hear that which you're interviewing. And we also do interviewing preparation training with them. And then in terms of compensation, we make sure that our career seekers understand not just that they got a bachelor's degree, great, but what does the market demand for you? We take them to Department of Labor websites, we show them median salaries, we show them low, we show them high, and we really equip them with the tools to be able to negotiate, but then know, hey, you may feel like you're worth $130,000 a year, but the market's paying $64,000 for that job, for your skill set. So that's where we do a lot with working with them. Okay, so let's continue on. All right. So our employer expectations, what do we expect from our employers? It's pretty simple for us. We want you to maintain open lines of communication with our career navigation team. respond to us, respond to our candidates. And we say respond, we're not saying we have an expectation for you to hire them. We don't send you someone and go, oh, you must hire this person. And to that note, we also send everyone through your normal and organic hiring process. We don't want necessarily a special pathway. Our special pathway is that we're able to reach out on their behalf and say, hey, did you get a chance to look at Monica's resume yet? She said she sent it over through your portal a week ago. And, sometimes some employers are like, hey, shoot me that resume. Oh, yep, we got it. I see it now. Someone's contacting her, or hey, Felicia, this Monica just wasn't a good fit. She lacked this skill, this skill, this skill. That feedback is vital. That has been transformational in the last 12 months. My team has a saying, we sometimes like a no better than a yes, because a no really truly starts preparing that person for some hard no's along their career path. Because just because you get a couple yeses at first doesn't mean you're going to always get yeses as you look to progress in your career. We want to designate somebody as a primary point of contact and a secondary point of contact. And believe me when I say this, we're not going to hound you with incessive emails that are, communication that are unnecessary. We're going to reach out to you on a monthly basis, and we say, hey, do you want to be featured on our YouTube channel? Do you want us to promote your open career opportunities? Submit this form. Keep talking with us. We had an employer earlier. Hey, I'm not sure how to start SkillBridge. Well, that's one of those things where it's like, jump in a meeting with us. Let us see where you're at. What are you doing for marketing? What are we doing for marketing? And where can we find some common ground there? And then we also want you to participate in regular Arizona Veteran Supportive Employer training. I do this every 2 months. I host training. We've got one coming up on Tuesday, the 27th. And really, that's just where we talk a lot about this stuff right here, the process. Those are our big expectations of our employers. All right, and then the benefits. So what's the ROI? Why, Randy? Well, the ROI is not always going to be that you're going to get a military connected candidate from us. That's just not always possible. But we will include you in our marketing to our active duty service members, to our military installations, Luke, Davis, Fort Huachuca, and now working on our partnership relationship down there in Yuma County. We're going to give you assistance with building your SkillBridge program and accessing SkillBridge candidates. We have over 100 candidates in our program right now looking for SkillBridge opportunities. So far, through 4 months of 2021, we've SkillBridged 32 individuals into our partners. Now we have over 200 partners. So you can kind of see not everyone's going to get a SkillBridge. So we always want you to remember, as an employer, there is some responsibility on your part as well to go out and market on LinkedIn, let it be known, hey, we're looking for SkillBridge candidates. When you want to do that, we work with you to prepare them and send you only the best candidates that fit your roles. 27 April. Thank you. We highlight you on Be Connected as well. So you're on Be Connected, you're on the YouTube channel, and then we continuously give you no-cost training and opportunities to engage us. All right, SkillBridge. This is the bread and butter of what we do. It's a big portion of all that we offer here. And really what we're looking for is for our service members to gain meaningful civilian work experience. Again, I keep real consistent with the Department of Labor and their terms and what they're looking for. We're looking for opportunities that offer a bright outlook. We're looking for opportunities. Go ahead, slide. We're looking for opportunities that have that bright outlook. We're looking for opportunities that give people the opportunity to not only work for you, but then that specific job is a universal job that's growing across the board. And always keep in mind with SkillBridge that SkillBridge can be an internship, it can be an on-the-job training, it can be an apprenticeship, and it can be a job shadow. So let's say we have that colonel separating, and that colonel believes that he or she is ready to be a VP of an organization. You can bring them on in a job shadowing and just give them that experience of the big differences between leading as an executive in the military and then leading as an executive in the private sector. And at the end of the day, I always like to say with SkillBridge, remember, there's no responsibility for you in terms of liability, nor is there a responsibility for you to hire. What we always ask respectfully is that you let us know, hey, Randy, we have no intention on hiring this individual. Not a problem, because what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that that person's networking, that that person is active on LinkedIn, that they've got their messaging out there. I'm actively in an internship at ASU, but I'm open to opportunities across the market. So that's really what we're looking for in SkillBridge. So let's take us to our second poll question. All right. What type of positions will the coalition help facilitate as a DoD SkillBridge?
%55 voted. Oh, we're looking interesting here. Yeah, almost everybody is in the same boat. But I'm not going to tell you if you're all correct or incorrect.
We'll wait until everyone gets their votes in first.
All B, C, D is answers B, C, and D.
All right.
All right, 84%, 86%.
I'm going to go out there on a limb, and I'm going to be very transparent.
Okay, ready?
Whether this gets me in trouble or not, I don't particularly care. It is not all of the above. I will never facilitate a minimum wage role. A minimum wage position is for SkillBridge is a position that, one, does not provide a sustainable or livable wage for an individual. Two, somebody coming out of the military has more than a GED or high school level education, which most minimum wage roles and opportunities are open for. So we do not convert minimum wage opportunities into SkillBridge opportunities. Now, we will work with employers of all sizes, small, medium, large employers. We work with everyone to ensure that really that in these SkillBridge opportunities, because you are essentially getting free labor, you're getting somebody at no cost to you. Slide. You're getting somebody at no cost to you. So we want to make sure that this is truly something that can be sustainable for that individual after their SkillBridge opportunity. What we do with SkillBridge. So we have Felicia, the dedicated coordinator for our SkillBridge program, and we receive candidates. So we had a couple employers recently like, hey, Randy, we want to get set up on the DoD site. We're like, great, here are the forms, here's what you do. A couple months later, they got it. They're like, hey, we're up on DoD. Thanks for your help in the interim. We're going to go try this by ourselves. Within 10 days, those employers looked back to us and said, we had 26 people apply for one SkillBridge opportunity. What do we do? And that's where we come in. We say, hey, have them complete our intake form. Let us work with all of those candidates and then only send you the 2, 3, or 4 that are actually truly qualified. Because if you're putting it out there on LinkedIn, you're doing your marketing, who knows what you're going to get? Even sometimes you might get a veteran or a spouse. How do you handle that? Who carries the liability? Well, we have access to that information, that knowledge, and we know how to give the right resources so that you can SkillBridge a veteran or a spouse. That's a possibility. It's within the guidelines of SkillBridge. And those are things that we can talk to you all about. We stay up to date on the guidelines and the principles that follow SkillBridge. So we, in addition to receiving, go ahead, you're good. In addition to receiving those candidates, we send them back to you. So we do our intake form. And as I said in the beginning, we work with these candidates to make sure that they understand it is their responsibility to translate their resume. Now, if they have issues, if they're not sure, that's why we have our career guidance professionals meeting with them. Literally, it's an open-end invitation. We have some candidates that meet with us once or twice. After that, it's just some text check-ins. Hey, how you doing? We have candidates that meet with us on a weekly basis that they needed that help from A to Z. What we're here to do is we're here to say, no matter the level of assistance that you need, we're here to provide it, but we won't do it for you. And it's not the market's responsibility to understand your language in terms of your military language. We have to translate that. So we work with them to translate those. We send the candidates back to you. And again, on the SkillBridge side, it's a little bit different than regular employment. Through regular employment, we send them straight to your regular hiring portals. On SkillBridge, we just have those conversations with you. How would you like to receive your SkillBridge candidates? Felicia, we want them all through our regular portal, through our regular channel. Great, we'll do that. Hey, we sent you 4, here's who we sent. Because maybe you have a robust SkillBridge program already that's a national program, and now you're choosing to work with us at the state and local level. We understand that, and we're able to work with employers at all different levels. Once you decide to move forward with them, we want you to interview them. We want you to interview 2 or 3 candidates at once. And again, we're gonna be the ones. Obviously, we want you to give your official no's to people, but we're gonna be the ones on the back end to say, hey, 2 of you didn't get it because Brad was more equipped. You know, you applied for a senior level role, you're an E4 or an E5, and unfortunately for you, at the same exact time, we've got an E7 with a bachelor's degree and a PMP wanting to go into that same type of role, and the company chose them. So let's upskill you, redirect you, and get you connected to your next SkillBridge opportunity. If the employer extends an offer, so if you extend an offer, Felicia then starts to work with you in a quickly and timely manner to ensure that the packet is complete. So it's one component of it is a vetting checklist, which we like to call the commander's approval checklist. So the commander has to review the SkillBridge and approve it. The second thing is the training plan that has to go up before each branch of the military. So the Air Force does it a certain way, the Army does it a different way, the Marines do it a different way, the Navy, Space Force, Coast Guard, everyone has their own way of doing it. I can say that we are most in line with and model ourselves, though it pains me to say it, after the Air Force. They have the best streamlined process end to end. Their education centers are far none. There's nothing like working with our education centers on our Air Force bases all across the world. They're quick, they're responsive, and they have a steady process to make sure that all the service members get the right resources on their end as well. And then we also work with you on the training plan, the checklist, and then we help you to draft your offer letters. Those 3 things are given to our career seeker. They go through the process, and then they get prepared to come do their internship with you all. And we continuously follow up with them, even during their SkillBridge opportunity slide. We check on them. We let them know, hey, how you doing? How do you like it? How's it going? Are you thinking you're going to be a good fit? So we focused a lot on our SkillBridge, but I don't want you to think that's all that we do, because it's not. We work with transitioning service members who do not do SkillBridge. Not every service member wants to do SkillBridge, and not every service member comes to us in time with enough time to be able to do one. We tend to try to facilitate SkillBridge opportunities that will last 2 to 4 months. 2 on the short end, unless the employer makes an exception, 4 on the long end. But Randy, the DoD says it's 180 days. Yes. And in those 180 days, that service member also has to decide whether he or she wants to take any type of terminal or transitional leave. They also have to utilize that time to clear their military installation. And then though we're a state-based program, we have an international footprint in terms of our candidates. So we've got candidates coming in from Guam, Okinawa, within the United States, but out in the ocean. We've got candidates from all over Washington, D.C. And beyond. So with that, we have to give them time. We also, again, we work with our Arizona Guard new recruits and our interstate transfers, veterans of all eras, our active duty military spouses, including Guard and Reserves. So we know personally on our team, we know how hard it can be to be that Guard or Reserve spouse. Your partner, your spouse, they're constantly being activated, one weekend here, 1 month here, border mission there. So we know the importance of really getting ingrained with them. And I know that this year and beyond, that Shelby's going to be able to truly lead the way in the state of Arizona. And whether she likes it or not, she's going to make a name for herself as an active duty spouse herself. Shelby's an active duty spouse. So Felicia's a spouse as well to a service member, but we're going to truly provide meaningful opportunities to our spouses. There's nothing wrong with getting that job outside of Luke Air Force Base at Starbucks. We think that that can be a great opportunity, but we want to make sure that we're also creating opportunities and a platform for those who want to do a little bit more or a little bit different. And then last, again, the University of Arizona. Slide. And that's it. We've got a bit of time left. Felicia, if you want to pull some questions from the chat, I'll start answering those questions. And then if you have any additional questions, please feel free to utilize the chat. Also, pull out your cell phone, pull out that handy dandy camera right there, scan our QR code, and set up a meeting with us. If you're listening to this and you're like, hey, this sounds interesting, or I'm not sure, I need some clarification on this one word you said here, or whatnot, whatever it is, scan that QR code that you see on the screen, schedule that consult with us, and let us move forward in helping you become an Arizona Veteran Supportive Employer within this ecosystem, have a better understanding of working with us and the value added, because I didn't even really touch on another key component that we do, and that's the upskilling in terms of certifications and credentialing. So if you're sitting here, I always tell employers, if you follow a continuous improvement model or a lean management model, and you want your entire organization to receive Lean Six Sigma certifications, well, we work with Onward to Opportunity and the Schultz Foundation to ensure that every candidate that we see has access to the knowledge that they can get a PMP, a Lean Six Sigma, an HR cert, about 25, 30 AWS, 25, 30 industry-led certifications at no cost to them. So as an employer, recruiting aside, on the retention side is where we can initially help you. Before we ever send you a prepared candidate, let's identify the veterans in your organization, identify the spouses, identify those in the Guard and Reserves, and say, hey, are you aware of these resources and benefits to you? As an employer, we brought in this third-party organization to make sure that you're aware of all of that. I think that is a huge value-added proposition and gives that person some more longevity in your organization. So with that being said, Felicia, what are some questions that I can answer to the whole group?
We have a question from Adriana. She's the Reentry Affairs Coordinator with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. They have incarcerated veterans. Is there anything that we can help them out with?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, I really deeply care about those who are involved in the justice system. And I really love and I'm fascinated by the restorative justice model that we have here in Arizona. So with those coming out of incarceration, it's really going to depend on their skill sets and what the degree and level of their incarceration was. So I previously to working here, I worked at Arizona Department of Economic Security, and I got to work a little bit with those who are in the justice system. And I can tell you, really what they need is what we have. Those tools, they need those tools. They need that sense of empowerment. They need to be equipped, and then they need advocacy. I worked with people when I was there who had recently come out of 6 months for aggravated assault straight out of jail, and we walked them into IT jobs. So Adriana, absolutely, let's have a conversation after this. We want to make sure that one, they're getting connected to Arizona at Work first with the program that they have there for those who are incarcerated. Two, we want to make sure that they're getting intensive case management from a DVOP. And then we would be that tertiary resource of that high level. Hey, even though you've been incarcerated recently, let's get you on LinkedIn. Let's get you working on your personal brand. Because whether your personal brand is, I don't know how to market my intelligence skills, or it's, I need to be able to navigate around a recent incarceration, it's still personal branding. And every single person who served deserves the same quality of resources. Felicia, what else do you have for us?
See, I don't have any other questions.
Any clarifying statements?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jessica from Luke Air Force Base. Do you all work with ESGR and employment of Guard and Reserves that are actively serving?
We do. So Pat Kirkendall, if you know ESGR in Arizona, you know Pat Kirkendall. So I've collaborated with Pat over the last 3 years when we were both leavers. Now as the state manager, he loops us into the ESGR network, and we have regular conversations and meetings with the ESGR. So yeah, we're in collaboration with them. They're not an official partner or anything to that nature, but we do regularly communicate and work to promote each other and find that that common ground where we can really collaborate.
We have a great question from Nancy, recruiting manager at DES. Is there a job board you recommend we as employers post to? I'd like to get my openings out to military spouses and transitioning military members.
Well, that's a great question. As a state agency, Nancy, I want to let you know, I'm excited to announce that we're currently working on an A3. We've got a problem statement from the Office of the Governor that we want to increase veteran employment in the state of Arizona. We want to move that needle. And so I met most recently with the chiefs. I love to say that. I got to meet with the tribal leaders, the chiefs of state government, and we're working with them to make sure that we're working across all state agencies and departments. One, to answer your question up front, we want you to post your jobs on the Arizona State Board, and we're going to meet you there. That's the solution. We do not do a job board. We're not going to have one. I know that prior to me coming here, there was some collaborations that had happened, some testing, some beta testing, stuff like that. But the coalition we have no intent on making, creating, or maintaining a job board. We promote culture. That's the big thing for us. We have a YouTube channel dedicated to our career seekers, where our career guidance professionals currently at Shelby literally goes, okay, this agency, this company, Boeing has these unique features. This is their work culture. Here are some of the open opportunities with Boeing. So to your point there, we're also about to launch a deliberate and direct effort to make sure that all state agencies are working with us, and that you're able to market us on your platform, on your state job board, with your postings, so that, again, we can better prepare military connected candidates, so that when you're reviewing those resumes, they make sense. We're going to look at utilizing predictive index and all the tools and resources the state of Arizona has already, and just collaborating with you to guide our transitioning service members, our Guard, reservists, veterans, spouses to your agency. So be on the look for that, Nancy. I'm sure that you and I will be having some meetings here in the near future.
We got one more question, and then we got to wrap it up.
Okay.
Quick answer. I don't know if Randy's capable of that, but we'll try. What are your current number of partnerships with DBOP?
We work with Pat Kirkendall. So we work with all the DBOPs through Pat. From myself as a state manager to Pat as a state manager, we're constantly sharing information back and forth between our organization and the DBOPs. We do not work directly with the DBOPs other than my relationship with Pat. So when we have our career connections, I shoot over to Patrick Kirkendall, and then he disseminates all of our information out to the DBOPs.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you so much. I'll give you like 30 seconds to copy down the links that I put in the chat. I put in the chat for already a partner, and then not a partner and not sure. So you can schedule at your convenience on our calendar. Okay. We really appreciate everybody showing up today, and we hope to see you in our next session.